Alright guys, Hazing here, welcome back to the channel for another Dislyte video. So in today's video we are going to be talking in a little bit more depth about trials, okay? Now trials are the thing that you can see down at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. We're going to go and we're going to talk about that, talk about the different things that you can get from it, and obviously why you should be doing it, to be completely honest. If you haven't already, consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel for more Dislyte content, but we are going to jump in and we're going to talk about this. Now I'm going to start at the top, I'm going to work my way around, and I'll touch on the cube miracle. Mine's is kind of on cooldown at the moment, but it gives me a chance to explain what cooldown is and how it works. So first off, we have the infinite miracle, which is the spatial tower. Now you'll probably just hear people refer to this as tower mode, okay? Now this is a series of events that get slightly harder as you progress. You'll have different challenges that await you, different things that you have to take on, and you will get a lot of rewards for clearing it all the way to the top. I mean, you get plenty of gold records, you've got ability ups, you've got gear kits, you've got a legendary character right at the top, Apollo, who will basically you'll get for free. I mean, free legendary characters, who can complain about that? But obviously as you get towards that top end, things are going to become more challenging and you may have to think about different team builds. So that's where it kind of becomes a bit of a challenge, where you want to start maybe filling out your roster a little bit, making sure you've got characters who can keep you alive, characters that can maybe buff you to make you a little bit stronger, because as you do go on, the challenge will become more and more difficult. Okay, so just make sure you've got a squad that can get you all the way to the top. Now at the moment there's no time limit on this, so you can take your time, you can go through it at your own pace. Like if you want to use some of your energy to do a level 1 day like I'm going to do just now, you jump in, take it on, be nice and easy. You get obviously loot for each stage, so it's not just at the 10th stage, 10th, 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th, so on to stage 100. You do get rewarded basically for every single stage that you take on, so this could be a good way for you to get yourself extra crystals to refresh your stamina, or if you're saving up to do summons, then this is just content for you to take on, especially if you've exhausted the story mode, which I don't think anyone will have done that just yet, but obviously if you have got this tower mode sitting there, and it will challenge you, you know. Obviously early on it's not going to be much of a challenge, but as you progress through it, the challenge is going to ramp up quite significantly. So like I say, just make sure you've got a little bit of squad depth, because things can get a little bit tougher as you move through it. So now that we've talked about the tower, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about one of the next miracles, or trials if you want to call them that. And that is going to be, well, you know what, I'll talk about the cube miracle, right? The cube miracle is almost like a sort of a smaller version of the tower, okay? What basically happens is, I'd love to be able to go in and show you it, but mine's is locked out just now. You're basically on a grid, okay? And the grid moves forward, okay? And as you move across it, you'll have, I think it's usually 3, sometimes it's 2, but you'll have 3 fights you can choose from, okay? Now when you click on those fights, you can see the potential rewards that you can get from the fights. They can be things like gear, they can be things like gold records, but you can choose which one you want to go for, okay? Now sometimes choosing one can lock off your path so that you can't reach some of the other ones, so it's a good idea to plan your path in advance, okay? And as you move through, you gain relics, okay? And those relics will give you buffs to your characters while you are in this cube miracle, so they do not carry over after you've left, okay? And those can be things like damage reduction, they can be things like bleed, they can be various different effects that as you progress through this, it'll actually start to make it easier if you've chosen the right runes. The rewards are very good for this, depending on how leveled your account is. I've only done 2 so far, because there is once you've completed, there's a 48-hour cooldown, so it's only possible to have done 2. But I mean, it's very rewarding. I kind of wish the cooldown wasn't there, because I would just completely keep jumping back in to do this. But the rewards are solid. It's something that is a lot of fun to take part in, and like I say, if you're getting yourself 3 records, that's pretty good, you know, and obviously you're getting diamonds as well. So that's Cube Miracle. The other ones that you should really be aware of just now, to be honest, which is the Ritual Miracle, which is basically where you grind out your equips, okay? Now, obviously, these are all slightly different. They have varying levels of difficulty and they have various weaknesses that are usually based on abilities. So, for example, you want to try and take on purple versus orange, orange versus green, you know, the standard thing that you're used to. I hope I got my colours right there, by the way. But if you can somehow build a mono team for each one of these, that would maybe make your life a little bit easier. These can get quite tough. I mean, I've got quite a leveled account. My team's pretty solid, and I can't auto it on level 9, so I need to go in and do a bit more work on that to try and get these cleared to level 10. But as you can see, you get lots of different rewards that you can get, and you can see the sets that are available. So if you don't like the look of the sets here and you want something specific, you can look over here or you can look here and you can find out exactly what one it is you need to grind to get the gear sets that you're after, okay? So make sure you're doing your Ritual Miracles, because like I touched on in my other video, these are also the places where you can spawn your Ripple Dimensions. But we're not going to talk about Ripple Dimensions in this video, but you need to be doing them to get your Ripple Dimensions, okay? Lastly, we've got the Sonic Miracles, okay? Now this is where you get your materials for you to be able to make your characters stronger, okay? Now, obviously, the way it works is you get 2 one day, the next day that'll be the next 2. It's quite simple. Like, so there's 3 hours and 50 minutes remaining today, and that's when I can do Infernus and Windstriker, and then the following day I'm going to be able to do these 2 elements here, okay? So that is how you get your materials, okay? Why do you need your materials? Well, we are going to touch on this in more detail in another video, but you need them for Ascension, okay? As you can see here, you need to get those items to be able to ascend your characters. But again, I'm going to talk about that in more detail in another video. So basically, guys, these things are all there for you as a free-to-play character, as a pay-to-play character, player, sorry. Whatever you are, these things are there to basically give you something to do, mean you don't have to spend money buying materials, because they can all be gotten for free. If you go and work your backside off, you can get them all for free. You're going to make yourself stronger, you're going to have fun, and you're also going to get levels on your characters as well. So it's not just about getting the materials. Remember, when you're taking on these stages, you're also earning XP, so your characters in themselves are going to get a little bit stronger every single time you run these things. So make sure you're going in there, doing the trials, getting the things that you need to get to bring up your account level, bring up your characters, and you will be able to start taking on harder content. You will be able to start kicking people's backside when you're doing Point War, and basically the game will become a lot more accessible to you at the later end of things, because you're really going to struggle if you don't start getting yourself equipment and stuff like that, because it does start ramping up in difficulty quite a bit, and things like gear sets is what's going to push you on to that next level. But anyway, guys, that's it on this video for talking about trials. I will be back with another video talking about kind of just in general going over leveling up your characters and what you can get from them and stuff like that. It's starting out time at the game, so it's good to cover all this off, because there's new people going to be picking up this game every day, and it's nice to let them know how to actually proceed quickly and make the most of their time playing Dislyte. Anyway, guys, I've been Hazink. Like I say, subscribe for more content, like the video, catch you in the next one, peace.